What's going on, Sports Nation? I'm your host, Kenneth Tiberius Clark, and you guys are listening to another fun episode of the Sports Exclusive podcast. So at the beginning of the season, this is actually one of my favorite episodes. It was titled Recreational Sports for the Regular 9 to 5 Guy or Person, right? I don't want to exclude women. But we talked about some of my personal experiences playing sports while I was enlisted in the Navy. And overall, just what that type of competition and what that type of camaraderie can really do for our lives, right? With stress at the job, with family life, right? Like it's a lot, right? So sports can kind of help us in that way. So that being said, I wanted to kind of, branch off and just kind of go a little bit deeper into that. I was able to link up with a gentleman who's had a lot of success in a similar competitive structure, even more competitive. And this is semi-pro football, to be exact. He's a dominant wide receiver for the Beach City Giants, 5-time champion. I think he's working on his 6th, right? He said, it might be 6. Who knows, right? He is a father. He's a family man. And he just so happens to be my blood relative. You know, greatness runs in the family, right? So let's get my man, James Goodman, on the show, on the air. What's going on, man?
Thank you for having me, Cuzzo. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for the intro, man. That was a great intro. That was great.
Oh, we work hard here at the Sports Exclusive Podcast, to give people, to edify.
Who's your daddy, man?
Oh man. So, okay. First of all, like I said, we're going to jump into semi-pro football, but you're at work right now.
Yeah. Gotta pay the bills. Gotta grind on the football field and gotta grind at work.
No, I appreciate it. That's everybody can learn a lot from that. So, okay. Let's get the people what they're, because I really want people to really get an in-depth knowledge of what this life looks like, right? And just your commitment to what it is that you're doing, both on and off the field. So before we're going to jump into your actual semi-pro football career, let's talk about football, period. When did you first pick up a football? When did you start? How old was you?
Football was introduced to me. Actually, I'm a late bloomer at football, actually. I mean, I played football. I didn't play any organized football as a youth. I was too busy trying to be the next Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. So I was dribbling that basketball. But I always was athletic. And you said greatness runs in the family. Well, our cousin Anthony, Ace, our family knows him as Ace. We're at where his old house is in Tustin. We're just throwing football, and he started throwing me the football, and I fell in love with it. And my freshman year was my first time playing with pads. So
your freshman
year football, I fell in love with it, and I almost quit it one time. I almost quit my sophomore year because I was still kind of iffy with the sport.
Right.
But once I made varsity my sophomore year, that's when my eyes lit up, and they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped getting good. Yeah.
So, okay. So then, and actually I'm in the same boat. I didn't play in pads until I was a freshman, but for you, and by the way, fans, this is something that me and him have actually never talked about, even though we're family, right? What was that introduction like? Was there like a wake up call? Like, yo, this shit is different. Like,
man,
did you?
The introduction, it was like football was like easy to me because I was always fast.
Okay.
So I didn't like to get hit. So what's the best way of not getting hit? I run everybody, right?
Right.
So I thought it was fun making everybody miss and try to tackle me. I would be laughing while people try to tackle me, not knowing like, hey, they're trying to hurt me, but I'm thinking it's fun because I'm like, hey, you're missing me. You can't tackle me. You're making ugly faces while you're trying to tackle me. Ha, 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 ha. But that was my mindset because it was like playing tag. But if you get tagged, you're going to get tackled. And I didn't want to get tackled. So what's the best way of not getting tackled? Run around everybody. So
did you have that one big hit where you was like, ew.
Oh, yeah.
when you was young?
I went to Tustin High School. I don't know if you heard, but we have like a lot of Tustin NFL alumni. And I went to a school with Sam Baker. He went to SC. Chris Barrett went to SC. Bo Bell went to UNLV. And my welcome to varsity hit was by Bo Bell my sophomore year, catching a sweep. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. He trailing it as a linebacker, playing it like a good linebacker. I'm running outside for the head up. Cleared my clot. I had a headache for like a week.
Was it one of those Reggie Bush? Was it Sheldon Brown where you had to crawl back to the sideline type deals, or?
No, it was more like I tried to get back up and I just laid back down. It was like, you know what? And you guys won. Stick to basketball. That's all they were saying. The old upperclassmen. Stick to basketball. Stick to basketball. But yeah.
Well, you know, and I know basketball players get mad when that comes up, but man, especially when it comes to hitting and when that Oklahoma drill comes up, you see a lot of that drill has created more basketball players.
Hey, I was one of those that in the beginning of my football career that used to shy to the back of the line. And used to pick who I wanted to go against. Like, okay, I think I can win against him. Okay, he's too big, so let me tie my shoe. You can go in front of me.
Yeah. And then the coaches call you out, like, no, go on and get your.
You go get yours. You're gonna be a man today.
So then obviously you started playing as a freshman. You had natural physical talent, so it came a little bit easier to you. And first of all, making varsity as a sophomore is very impressive. I didn't make varsity until I was a senior. You know, that's how much a late bloomer I was. But how do you feel like you transformed by the end of your high school career? Like, what do you think the jump was?
Being on a good high school team, like my high school, Tustin High School, it's considered a powerhouse in Orange County. So we had football season was real at Tustin High. So my opportunity, although I was on a varsity as my sophomore, I didn't get my opportunity until the fifth game of my junior year when one of my upperclassmen got injured, and I was, you know what, when you get it, next man up. So I went in, I made my plays, and I didn't go out until my senior year. So my first 2 years on varsity, it was a learning experience. Yeah, because I had dogs in front of me. Like I literally had to wait my turn because the two people in front of me, they were D1 athletes, D1 dudes. You know what I mean? So I had to really learn their traits. And plus, that was my sophomore, junior year. That was my second year playing football ever. So I was still behind the curve against all dudes that have been playing junior All-American, Pop Warner all their lives. I'm 2 years in high school. I made varsity, and I'm like, what? I'm still new to this sport. Like, I'm still learning how to catch the football correctly. I'm still learning how to learn the plays and what's a 3-hole, what's a 4-hole, what's a 5-hole. I'm still learning that. So it was a learning curve, but I think junior year it clicked because I got to be a swing player. I got to do a lot of JV games, but still suit up for the varsity. So the JV games got me ready. I got a lot of reps for the JV games, and I did my thing. Like I was balling like an all-star. Then
they would let you play both.
Yeah.
See after a while.
The JV games would be Thursday. Then you suit up for Friday night. You feel me? So that's how it was. You go get your reps on Thursday, then go suit up. Luckily, if your team is up and you're blowing them out, you get some reps on Friday too. So you had 2 games a week.
So you was already warm. You was already hot while everybody was just trying to.
Exactly. From the night before, like, I go score 5 touchdowns in the JV game and go run off on kickoff and special teams the next Friday night. Get maybe 4 or 5 plays on the varsity game. Then build it up to the next season. But my junior year, once our starting DB got injured in the 5th game of the season, the coaches was already high on me, like, yo, Goodman's up. He's a junior. I went in, did my thing, and I started the rest of the season, and all my senior year I started.
And you were a wide receiver and a DB, or just a wide receiver?
My high school, we had running back. We ran the wing T, so we didn't have no receiver.
Oh,
I was a running back and DB.
See, I had about 3 or 4 different running backs, 2 fullbacks, wing back, the wing team.
Pass the ball maybe 3 times a game. That's funny how I became a receiver, though.
So, okay, then obviously we're going to get more into that. But let's talk about the reality that every high school athlete, especially football players, have to face. All right. It's the end of your senior year, right? And especially I've seen this, many of my friends, especially guys who I thought were all world talents, not get offers or not get that opportunity to play at the next level. What did that look like for you? Did you get offers? And if not, what was that situation like?
Me, I wasn't a qualifier, so I knew I had to go to a JC right off the bat.
Grades.
You know what I mean? Grades. Being a knucklehead, like I said, I was one of those kids that didn't realize he had something special until late. I was a late bloomer. Like I had a whole bunch. I was walking potential, but didn't realize I was a walking potential until like it was kind of senior year was kind of over with, and I got my accomplishments. Like, oh well, I did get this in basketball. I did that, but for football, I had San Diego State actually. They were really on me out of high school. They were really on me out of high school, and they were willing to, offer me a gray shirt to go out there for a semester. Why, or
get your grades up.
Get me out there to like San Diego Mesa, like one of those JCs, so I could be closer to the school and just, But I decided to say no. I said I'll stay home. I went to Santa Ana College right out of high school. And it was a familiar school because a lot of my teammates that were one D1, they went to that high school. A lot of the competition from my league went to that college, so I was familiar with the college. And my senior year, I had a lot of good accolades. I made all league, first team. I was second team all CIS, I believe. So I had the thing. I just didn't have the grades. So once I realized that college was an opportunity for me, and coaches were really interested, that's when I took the JC thing a little bit serious than I did high school. So JC was like a second chance at high school for me.
So you feel like you were even more committed as a student athlete than you were in high school.
Student athlete. Like at first, like I said, the high school was like I was just like everybody else. You were trying to discover who you are. You know what I mean? Like you're getting pulled in from peer pressure. You got the girls. You're on the newspaper.
I was about to say, if you had all those accolades, you was the man. So you had to stay focused.
Then I'm in Orange County, primarily white area. So I'm a melting. I'm in a school that are pretty much. It's not just my story, but once they're done with you, they're done with you. You know what I mean? Like all 4 years, you didn't do anything. They're done with you. And that hurt a lot because it was like, yo, I thought these teachers loved me, but once my senior season ended, it was like, oh, so you're still here? Oh. I was like, when you graduate, are you going to graduate? Like, wow, dang, like I thought you loved me last Friday when I was playing touchdown.
No, that's the reality. That's reality.
You let me walk into the classroom 30 minutes late and say, oh, James, but now I walk in 5 minutes late, go to the office. Like, dang, what happened? But once I realized once the coaches made me realize, like once you start talking to certain coaches and you're getting the recruiting process and you're like telling them why you can't go to this school, you're like, I got to go to JC. Then they're telling you like, hey, you have potential. We like you in this game. And you're like, whoa, you paid attention? Like, oh, me? This little old me? Okay, maybe I need to fix me and do this, like listen to coaches now and start getting my rack together because I want to go to college.
Right.
So when I got to Santa, what?
No, I was gonna say you get to JC and
I get to Santa Ana College and it clicked. I had a great freshman year. My team, we started off I think 7-0, and we finished 7-3. We lost to Glendale in the Golden State Bowl or something like that. So. And I played DB my freshman year, so I was toned in. And after my freshman year, I started getting my first letters, my little D2 offers, my little small school offers, and it felt good. It felt good. I didn't care where at that point. I didn't care where, if it was a D1, D2, D3, D4.
You just wanted to go to college.
Just looking at those letters saying James Goodman, that was just like, oh yes, I'm almost there. So,
so what offer did you wind up taking?
My story is kind of weird because like I said, I had to bump my head a couple times. So my end of my freshman year, going into sophomore year, because I had to spend 2 years at you're partying, you're getting that taste of college life, and my team is successful. Like my team was doing good. Like we got all the way to like number 2 in the state, and so that means the parties. You feel me? Everything's going on. And when I started college, I started fresh. Like I literally turned 18. My birthday's in July. I turned 18 in the middle of our first college practice, my first week of practice. I turned 18 that week. So everything's just, you feel me? Class is new. College is like, all right. Yeah. The girls, everybody knows who I am now. James Goodman, you're DB number 21, sat down to college. Yeah, we see you. You must be friends with the basketball team, girls basketball team. So it's like I had all the distractions, and you thought I was focused that first part of my freshman year. But once football season ended, the parties, spring break, all that stuff, I ended up getting ineligible for my sophomore year. So I had to redshirt my sophomore year because I was academically ineligible, and that pushed a lot of the ones that said I had potential, like the San Diego State, the San Jose State, the Wyoming. Those ones, they're like, all right,
good programs
he's a knucklehead. Too. Yeah, he's a knucklehead. All right.
They said they just like, nah, we're good.
Wow. He's ineligible. We got to wait another year for him. All right, we'll go to the next guy.
And this should be, obviously it's good that you're at a place in your life where you grown man, you could be accountable for those things. I would say any young athletes, young aspiring athletes, football players, basketball players, pay attention to this thing, because this is a grown man being accountable for the mistakes that he made as a young man that, maybe it could have extended his career, especially at that university. Maybe he could have went to some programs.
Yeah.
So
that's not just the one. This story is this podcast has a bunch of lessons. I squandered so many opportunities. But we'll continue to tell that.
So then you're ineligible. You're ruled ineligible for your sophomore year. You have to redshirt. Where do you go from there?
That's more drama starts. I get it. So when you're ineligible, you can only practice with the team. You can't travel. You can't do anything. You can lift and travel and work out. Or you can't travel. You can lift and you can't go to the game. Or you can go to games, but you can't play. Right. So the whole time I found out I was going to be ineligible for that episode of the season, we had that whole spring and to prepare for it. So I'm just getting the first team, second team. They're getting them ready. I'm a scout team, running back scout team, doing scout team basically. But through that time, I have a lot of free time. If I'm not in class, if I'm not helping I have a lot of free time. So when a lot of free time, you have a lot of free time in college, and I'm not working. So back then you don't have NIL deals and everything. So you have to really grind for your money. So I did some more knucklehead stuff, start selling weed and all that stuff. Then I got into an incident on campus where I got in a fight. So it was just bad. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave this JUCO and go to a different fresh start. I already got ineligible. So when I go to this JUCO, I'll be eligible. I got my credits up, so I can just go start camp. Boom. So I end up going to Golden West College in Huntington Beach. So therefore, I already used 2 years of college. Well, 3 years basically at the JUCO level. So therefore, at the college level, I probably have 3 years of eligibility left. Or one. Since I've been messing up at JUCO, right? And this is a guy that was at this point, I'm a 2-star or 3-star recruit in the JUCO level. So I go to West. Go to West is a crappy program before I get there. Crappy. They went like 0-10 the year before there. The coaches, new coach, he's still there. Coach Nick Mitchell, cool guy, dude from Viejo. You would think he's Eminem because he's white, but he talks black, and you're like, wow, this white dude is black. Told him my story. welcomed me in with open arms. He's like, I give second chances. Don't worry about it. We're gonna lock you up. Golden West ends up having its best season to this date, and that's one of the seasons. That's our season. Is the season that turned Golden West's program around to where they are right now. They're a powerhouse JC now, but that season was the season that we beat Saddleback. We beat a bunch of good schools that year. We ended up going 7-3, and we lost to a bowl game. But that year, Golden West turned their program around.
And how many games did you guys win?
Oh, I think we went finished either 8-2 or 8-3. And that was that was the start of the Golden West's run to where they're at now. That was all the way in 2009. So for all the people watching, I am old.
So, and then I'm assuming you had a great season there.
Oh yeah, I had an up and down season. That was my first full season actually playing without being just, getting in trouble or anything. So it was like different. Then I had issues with the coach that recruited me. So I had little off the field problems with him for a couple games. So it was up and down. It started off good, then it ended off kind of bad. But it was no love lost, no bad amount. I actually got to finish it, and my recruiting was slow because I had to after my JUCO, my recruiting was slow. I had to wait the next semester to get my AA to move on. So once I left Golden West, I was just back in Long Beach taking online classes to get my AA to try to figure out what I was going to do.
And would you say that Golden West was your last collegiate football opportunity?
No, Golden West was the last. Well, I thought it was. I thought I was done. I thought I was.
Man, you got 9 lives.
You had done. I thought I was done. I was like the recruiting crowd. Now I'm down to Division 2s and Division 3s and NAIA schools. That was like the cream of the bottom of the bottom. Now it's just like, all right, just go to college and play some football. You might not get the best stuff, but this is college football type. Now I'm at that point with my life. Like, all right, it ain't SC, but it's still college football.
Right.
I still get to go, still get some scholarship. I still get to experience football. So I'm like, no, I'm not even going to do that. So I started working. I met my wife. Started going to church. Started doing the good thing. Then my wife hits me with, I'm going to Virginia. And this is before we were married. And I'm like, yo, like, why is everything falling apart in my life? Like, football is leaving me. This girl that I met that I love is leaving me. Then I'm like, man. So that night, I'm just talking to God, and my shoebox opened. And it so happened to be the town that she was living is a town that 2 years before I left Bluefield, they were starting a football program. So they were already 2 years in, and they had a letter. I was like, let me call this school real quick. So I called the coach. He's like, oh yeah, James, yeah, we heard of we're 2 years in now. We got some room for you. This is NAIA Division 1. We just have to get cleared. And I prayed again. I told then my future wife, like, yo, there's a school called Bluefield College. Isn't your parents where you're living? It's Bluefield. So yeah, that's the college in the town. I was like, well, they just offered me a scholarship, so I'm going with you. And she's like, get out of here.
Crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's God right there.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I married my wife, because I was like, yo, you went to Bluefield. I didn't even care about. I threw that letter I threw that away. Then you told me you were going to Bluefield. I went to go dig that up, called the number. They remember who I was, and I was like, yes, I get to follow you to Bluefield. You ain't leaving me. I'm following you. So then fast forward. So then you get to Bluefield, and Bluefield, and how does Division 1.
And is that a positive or negative experience?
It was a positive experience. The only negative is that we sucked.
Yeah. You weren't used to sucking.
Yeah, I wasn't used to, and it was a new program. It was a new program, so. When I got there, I was considered upperclassman, so I was considered upperclassman junior. So when I got there was only 3 juniors and 2 seniors that was
so it was
left
all
on the
freshmen.
team.
It was all freshmen.
Freshmen, and straight out of high school, incoming freshmen.
These were kids.
Yeah, so that's basically. It was fun being the big brother of the team, but it sucked because, man, those growing pains sucked getting our butt driving 5 or 6, 7 hours to Kentucky to get beat 56-0 and go drive all the way back on a bus. So those times were freaking depressing. But that group, I wouldn't trade it for. I'm still close to those dudes today. They're great guys right now. They're all grown up now. But that group for that 2 years that I was up there, we got our butts kicked. We only won 2 games in the 2 years, but man, did I have the best time of my life. Like we partied like we was at D1 school. It was fun. It was fun. It was very fun.
So,
our coach, we had an NFL coaching staff. Mike Compton that played for the New England Patriots. He won 2 Super Bowls. Tom Brady. We had Coach Stacey Harrison. He was a CFL legend out there in Canada. Kurt Bouchard, wide receiver coach. He went on to coach for the Bills, the Lions, and I believe the Buccaneers right after Bluefield College. So I had some good coaching and good experiences up there.
So then, so then fast forward into how you got to your semi-pro football career. Was there a time off from football? Did you take some time, and how long would you say that was?
The time off was from when I stopped playing at Bluefield. My wife moved back to California. I was still stuck in Bluefield. I had a pro day with the University of Bluefield. Well, they're the University of Bluefield now. It was Bluefield College when I was there. They're the university now. So I had a pro day because my wide receiver coach, like I said, he was our NFL Connect. He got me a pro day. I did pretty good, but my son was a year and a half, and my daughter was 6 months when I had my pro day. And I talked to a couple little CFL teams, and there was 2 NFL teams. I forget who they. I think it was the Jaguars, and at the time I think the Titans or something like that. But they weren't even the coaches; they were like scouts or player assistants or something like that.
Right.
And so that was December. So from December till December 2012 to January 2013. That's probably the year that's the longest I've probably been out of football to up to this date, because I was in Virginia and everybody was out here, and I ended up leaving Virginia because I was homesick and I missed my kids, and I missed opportunity. I didn't even go to the tryout. The tryout was on a Saturday. I left on a Thursday, took a Greyhound. They were calling me while I was on the ground, like, "Hey, where you at?" I was like, "Man, I'm halfway home, bro. I miss my kids." So
nothing wrong with that.
Fast forward to how Semi-Pro came about. Another connection. Our cousin. Our family's big, baby. Our family's big.
Yeah, yes, it's pretty big.
Family's big. So our cousin Deshaun, he was the offensive coordinator for a semi-pro team, and he used to always tell me that I should come out and do all that when I was looking for my schools. And I went to go practice with him. I think I even played maybe a game and a half. I think me and Anthony went to a game and a half, and I started networking. I networked with like 3 or 4 dudes. So when that's when Facebook just starting to boom. So a lot of the dudes that I was networking, they remember me like, "Hey, that's the one. That's the Sean's cousin. Remember he practiced with? Oh, he went to Bluefield College. Yeah, he's back now." So all those dudes that remember me, when they saw we got back to California, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" I was like, "Man, I just got back to college. Just got back to California. Hey, bro, come play on our team. You remember the Firehawks? That's your coaching coach?" I was like, "Yeah. Semi-pro." He's like, "Yeah, well, we're the Hollywood Stars now, and we're up in Whittier. Jeff, hey, well, I already told the coach about you, bro. Just come to our practice." And me, like, oh man, this is a chance to get back in football. Our team, my last experience of football, man, we only won 2 games in 2 years. I just missed out on a couple opportunities. I get to stay home and still play football. I can still work and still go to the game. All right, I'll go to a game. I'll go to a tryout. We'll go to the tryout. And, tryout was football. Once you get around football, just like any other thing, you're
It
back
comes
home.
back. Yeah.
Exactly. So first practice, I was killing everybody.
They just threw you the jersey.
Yeah, it was like, here, we want to sign you. Then they signed me. Then we had that whole little training camp. Then the Hollywood Stars, our first team. Semi-pro. Played with them for 3 years.
For 3 years, okay. Because I definitely was going to ask you how many teams have, at this point, how many teams do you play for? And what, and this is something I was even doing research. I'm like, okay, what specific leagues have you played in? So how many teams and what specific leagues?
In semi-pro, I played on 4 teams. And since 2013, I've been on 4 teams. Mm-hmm. I've gotten opportunities since I've been in semi-pro, I've illuminated opportunities to play football in Europe, in Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. I got XFL tryouts, invites, private camps, the whatever that league is called,
USFL.
Yeah, I got 2 invites to that from teams in Texas, and I made the KISS team. I don't know if you remember that NFL, the KISS, IFL KISS.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They're an arena team in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. But I don't do arena. I'm an 11-man football player. Arena football is too confusing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So,
okay. So
go ahead.
So would you say, and this is the biggest thing that I've gotten so far, and just hearing about, your football background and your journey, would you say it's always been more about just love and passion for the game? I mean, obviously everybody wants to make money, but would you say that the passion and the love for the game?
For me, you always have those aspirations to be like, oh yeah, I want to get a contract, NFL contract, get an L contract. But in my experience, once I've learned, the more you get deeper, the more success you get, the more it's stickier with politics and what you know, who you know, and this level for me, it represents like, you got to pay to play. You got to do your own. You got to do a lot of stuff your own. You don't have the agents, all that stuff. But it represents the pure love of the game, stuff that you fell in love with as a kid, and that's why you see so many people hang on to the semi-pro. And I know Super Bowl champions. Manny Wright played for SC. Mm-hmm. He played from so many teams. He's been in semi-pro just as much as I am. And he's been bouncing it back from pro leagues and all that. But he says semi-pro is probably the purest league he's ever played in because it's pure. Everybody's playing for the love. They're not playing for a contract. Right. They're not paying to out the next man or be on the Sports Center or get the next interview or the next endorsement. They're playing for the pure love of the game. And for me, football has been an outlet to me, an outlet to a lot of my family traumas, my family's problems. It's created an identity for me. And, growing up with a lot of struggles, a lot of traumas, low self-esteem, football's created an identity for me where people, when they see me now, they know me. Hey, that's James Goodman. That's in my pro team. He played for that. Hey, he's nice. He should be in the league. And I'd rather have those than he wasted his life, or he should have been this, but he was so busy doing that. I have more of, hey, this guy never stopped playing football. He loved his dream. He didn't care what nobody told him. He just loved playing football. And it's to a point where so many people love it now that they look forward to my posts. Like, they're like, hey man, I can't believe you're still balling at the high level, bro. You look like you haven't lost a step. And it's like, man, it's just pure passion, pure love. And I'm not the only one. There's so many people across the world that have the same passion, the same stories. That's why football's so universal. That people from so many different backgrounds have the same stories. A lot of same stories. A lot of dudes that I know that made it to the NFL, made it to camp, and they have the same story. I thought I was the mess up, and I'm like, listen, this is like, oh, yo, you got a contract and you messed that up. Oh, I don't feel bad now.
we the same guy. We in the same boat. Yeah.
So I don't feel bad. But then it's like you learn, like, some of these teams that I played in, like, it's real life brotherhood. Like, some of these, God forbid, 10,000 years from now, Ken, you're going to see some of my teammates at my funeral. like talk about some of the stuff that we experienced together. Because like I met some people that I never even thought I would be friends with, and are like my bestest friends now, just off of playing semi-pro football together. My son's passion to play football comes from me seeing his dad play football. Like I didn't get to see my dad play sports like that. Like my son gets so geeked up when he gets to see me, and like one of my favorite moments is I scored a touchdown, and he was holding the sticks at the goal line, and he was so happy he dropped the sticks, and me and him did our handshake as our celebration in the end zone. They got it on camera. It's probably the best thing ever. Like, yo, like I got to celebrate a touchdown with my son. Like, you can't write that, right? You can't beat that. So,
and once again, and here's the thing for me. Like I said, I never played semi-pro football. I never even played at the collegiate level, but I can only imagine, when I was in the Navy, I always tell the story of when we were, stressed out, we get off deployment, and they had a flag football. They used to hold a flag football. And there's a crazy part, it got a little physical, but and I talked about this earlier on the show in one of the first episodes, but just to see how committed guys were to it. And I remember when it was over, guys were like, man, like guys was just down, like, man, the season's over. We don't have nothing to look forward to.
It went by as soon as it came, it went by fast, man.
It went. And the crazy part is we got close, and I'm sure you can say this with semi-pro football. Would you feel like it's not just your team? You get close with the guys that you guys are playing that you see all the time.
Yeah,
like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Like the semi-pro community is crazy. Like you have the NFL that you talk about. They have the brotherhood. The NBA got the brotherhood. But just like any other organization or any like recreational sports has its own brotherhood too, because we play each other year in. Like now semi-pro is year in out or all year round. It used to be.
Oh wow, I didn't know this.
It used to be fall season, then spring season. You recruit for the fall, but now it's fall season and spring season. And spring season is the most dominant because all the fall leagues, it's hard to get high schools and stadiums in the fall, so everybody's going to the spring where the spring's open. So that's why you see the spring blowing up and having national championships and Super Bowls and all types of stuff, because everybody's moving to the spring. But now that football's year round, I've literally gotten job opportunities. The job that I have now, I've been with my company for 5 years. I got off a semi-pro network. Like, wow, dude, I needed a job 5-6 years ago. My boy was at the time head of hiring at the church house. I played against him. Never met him. I just played against him. He doesn't know me for anything. I played against him. He knows me from semi-pro. Hey, aren't you number 10 for Hollywood Star? Jet lag? Oh, you need a job, bro? Hey, fill out this. Boom, call me. Did that, and 5 years later, I'm a supervisor doing an interview at my job, still getting paid.
Wow. Okay, so and before we jump into my next question, I want to know, because once again, I know time is running short. You still man on the clock.
You're good. You're good, though. You're good. Trust me.
Okay, we're good. Trust me. Okay, okay, perfect. Tell us about the Beach City Giants, because you play for a few, you play for quite a few teams. You look, he said, "Whoo!" So this is the team. Since I've been following his semi-pro football career probably for the better part of 5-6 years, but went further than that. But I keep seeing Beach City Giants. I keep seeing championships. Talk to me about this team and what you've accomplished.
Oh man, Beach City Giants, man, this is one of those things that you birth. You're part of the origin of this. I was literally day one, like sat at the round table. What's the name going to be? What colors are going to be? What players? I literally was at the meeting with the founding father. They call me a founding father of the team.
Oh wow!
So literally around that, the beginning. I think it was 2017 or 18 when we started. And it was just basically. We had a vision of making a team basically off of everything that we just talked about. Having a team with brotherhood, where it's not just football, it's bonding for life. I don't have to talk to you about football. I can talk to you about anything. We don't have to we don't have to hang out just because on the football field. We can hang out because you feel me? We can go do stuff with our families. You got kids, I got kids. We're gonna really be like a real family team. And we're tired of others. A lot of players were tired of other owners, other bull crap in semi-pro, because anywhere you go, you have the bad people,
Right,
that make
of course.
stuff worse, the toxic
At
people,
any level.
that just makes stuff complicated than what it needs to be. And at this level, no one's getting paid, so you just got people that are just messy for no reason, just jealous and messy. So we started a team, and we had a core group of guys, and we just built on it. Every year, our first year we went undefeated, won our first year championship. Second year, we went undefeated, lost in the championship. Third year, went undefeated, won the championship. So we just been winning. Beach City.
So
would
you say? So would you say, before you continue, would you say Beach City is a team by the players for the players?
Oh yes, for sure, for sure. Our owner was an ex-player.
Okay.
He was an ex-player. Like I said, he had a bunch of guys that were consisted of guys that didn't like the way the state of semi-pro was going at the time, and we just needed that one team to be different and represent. And our, city of Long Beach, the gangs part of it is Crip, and our team owner is a Crip that turned his life around. He works at a refinery and all that, but he still has that gangster in him,
that edge about him, yeah.
So, and we call him Suge Black. So his team basically adopted his personality. Big black dude that doesn't take stuff, that just wants to play football, but if he has to take it, he's going to take it. And that's basically what we did. Like, no one gave us nothing. No one wanted to book us for games. We got games, and we booked, and we did it. And we did it our way. We didn't do it the natural semi-pro way. And everybody, we had our down period when everybody was dogging us and laughing at us. But we kept on staying with the formula, kept on pressing us, kept on pressing. And this last 2 seasons, you saw Beach City. We're starting to see the fruits of our labor because we put in a lot of work, and we had this last season, we went 12-0 and won our championship. But we got so noticed that we became the number 1 team in the nation.
Wow.
Off of this semi-pro. We are up to play in a national championship game July 29th in Atlanta, Georgia.
Who you guys gonna play?
We find out on Monday they're going to have a release show. It's called the Sunshine Bowl. We're going to have a release show on Monday. But we are the 2A bracket number 1 team in the nation. Beat City Giants.
So then this has been the biggest thing that I want to know with how these leagues work. So obviously you guys, we're talking about national rankings or maybe best team in the state, this, that, and the third. Does every state have their own semi-pro league? So what league do you play?
Every state does have their own semi-pro league. Every state does have their own set of rankings and all that stuff. But certain states have national rankings, and certain teams submit their stats to national rankings to the committee, like the BTS, in college. Certain states have that. And it's up to in semi-pro, your owner is like basically the dude that sets your teams up for success. You see your owner, if you have your team success, that means your owner is putting in the work. Your team is just a semi-pro team, that means your owner just wants to fill the team, have fun every Saturday, drink beer after the game, all that. But the ones that have the owners that do the work, they fill work, they get the stats, they get the film, they're marketing, they're promoting games, they're getting flyers out. Those are the ones that get those national invites, because those are like BCS, they have their rules where they look at teams like, hey, does this team have a good following? Are they winners? Do they win championships? Do they have a good social media following? Are they good financial stable to travel out of state? And our owners list, we checked out all the boxes across the board, and I don't know how we got in this one league, the Sunshine Committee, but our owner said he was demanding stats all the last 2 seasons. He was being super anally about it. Like, yo, submit the stats, get the camera, get film. We need it this year because if we win, we're going to a natty. And this was almost a year ago. When you know the saying, you speak it into existence, it's going to happen. So he kept on speaking like, we're playing for natty this year. I don't care what anybody say. We're going to play for a natty. And offense averaged 40 points a game. The closest a team got to us we're up by 2 points. It was 8-6. That was the closest the team got to us. We never trailed a point. We always scored first. And our defense didn't give up a touchdown until second half.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we did crazy numbers and we submitted our stats and the committee recognized it. And for the first time being in that type of, we're in a southern bracket too. So we play we're in a lot of, I don't know if I sent you the list, but there's a lot of teams in Texas, Florida. And for us to be in the first time in this, the rankings to be shot to number one, that tells you something.
Oh, wow. That says a lot.
And
so,
we pissed a lot of people off with that too. A lot of those teams, a lot of those players. Woo.
So have you guys gotten, because of the way that your team is structured, ran by players for the most part, have you guys gotten pushback from essentially the semi-pro community? Like you're not supposed to do it like that. You're supposed to have some rich guy that owns a dealership in the chair.
You know the Inglewood Blackhawks. You're pretty familiar with it. They're like the blueprint of semi-pro in California. Okay, they're the blueprint. Everybody thinks outside of California, when they think California semi-pro, they mention
Inglewood Blackhawks.
They're the longest tenured semi-pro team and the most successful, but they've always been hating on us because they saw the potential in what we were doing, and they're on their down because a lot of their players came to our team, and over the season we've been flopping players. A lot of our players would go to them, their players would come to us, so they see us as a competition because they're still the big dogs, but they see us slowly climbing up, and now we're at the same thing. And they're like, you guys can't be. No, we are. We're about to win this national. Because they lost 2 national championships in the last 2 years. So
would you say that you guys are on the way of becoming the flagship semi-pro organization in the state of California?
There you go.
Wow. He's like, yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
No, I was waiting for. I was trying to set it up because that's what it's been. That's what has been built up for like the last 3 years. Like we had a bad year. Everybody thought we were down. Like, see, we told you they're going to fail. They're never going to be back. Then this last year, like the FU back, the FU season, like, haha. And we dominated. And we dominated so good that we went to number one, surpassing the Blackhawks. And now we're up for a national championship. And they just lost 2 national championships in a row, back to back. So now if we win, we're doing something that they couldn't do.
And they're going to be sick.
Exactly.
Okay, so now, and here's another question. I want you really quick, if you could just kind of simplify it and summarize it. Talk to us about, or tell us about the reality of being a semi-pro football player. I know you mentioned earlier you guys pay to play. You have to balance. You have to have a work balance. You have to have a home balance. You got a wife and kids, and I'm sure everybody that you're working with got married and got children and got a career.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the reality of being the pros and cons of being a semi-pro football player.
Man, the pros, it's fun. It's football. You get to do the stuff that you love to do. You get to. You get to play, you get to live that dream, you get to extend your dream. Whatever your dream was, you get to extend it and live it every weekend. Despite wherever you're at in life, you can be working a 9 to 5, but if you're off Saturday, you get to go be Deion Sanders for a couple hours and still have that and really live it. And I know people that do it. So, but the cons, man, there's so many. Your fields are never, you play on bull crap fields. Some owners don't take it serious. And they just build anybody and everybody. So one team can look really professional and the other team can look like the Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
It's unprofessional. Even though it's semi-professional, it's unprofessional in a lot of ways. You have to travel. Like I said, it all depends on the team. If you don't have a team owner that doesn't care or doesn't have stuff to order, you have to get to games yourself. You have to pay for your own gas. You have to pay for the referees. If you don't get days off, you miss work. And
Right.
some people don't miss work, they miss games. So, and a lot of people miss games because they're not missing work. Because who's
Right.
gonna miss work?
Hey, you have responsibilities.
Yeah, who's gonna miss work for a semi-pro game? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have teams that only
So you need
feel
depth.
Yeah. So it's like we can't. It's a semi-pro is like a 10-game season, but those 10 weeks is a mystery every week because you don't know if you're gonna have 55 guys every week or you're gonna have 20 guys this week. You're gonna have 15 guys next week.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have so every week is a new. It feels like you're playing a new team because this guy wasn't here last week when we played him, but he's here this week because he had to work or he's out of town or some type. So, I mean, it works. I guess there's, like I said, it's pros and cons and things. It's basically how you look at it. It's how you look at it. If you look at it as like, oh, these men play grown. Why are you guys playing football still? You're grown men. You shouldn't have given it up. You pay to play. Da da da. Or you can look at it as everybody else. You know, people play recreational soccer. They play recreational basketball. They play recreational softball.
Of course.
It's the same. It's basically the same thing. Same thing.
And to tell you the truth, like I said, I don't know at this point, especially the older I get. When people try to say, oh, I don't know, they need to give up. Look, you can go to any corporate setting and you put them in a competitive environment, whether it's tennis, whether it's basketball, whether it is flag for two-hand touch football. Man, guys get serious.
They're going to go after it.
They're gonna go after it. So men, it's especially guys who are prior athletes. You never lose that edge. You may forget about it, but once you get put back into that environment, man, it's a wrap, dude.
Yeah, no, it gets covered. It gets covered in what you call it. But low key, they hope that it gets unlocked in something like that. They go to work like, we got a softball tournament today. Oh yes, we got a softball. Oh, the company got a tournament today. Oh yeah. Yes, like it's a show. Look, like it's show Bobby something what I used to do 10 years ago.
Company, I didn't tell you. I didn't see people get loose for company bowling.
Oh
man, they get the wrist brace.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Right?
I used to be this back in the day.
No, yeah, you never forget those things. So, okay, how can I know you got the national championship and stuff coming up? Moving forward, how can the fans support you guys, you in the Beach City Giants, in your upcoming national championship, and how can they follow you guys?
Beach City Giants football on Facebook. You just type it up. It's the big G. It's the Packer G, but it's the Beach City Giants G now.
Mm-hmm.
But Beach City Giants football on Facebook and Beach City Giants on IG. You can. I know a lot of our teammates have their GoFundMe's attached to those pages. So if you go to those pages and, want to donate to one of the players to help them get to Atlanta, you can go on the Beach City Giants Facebook page or Instagram page. Screw it. Look at the pictures, look at your history. You'll see pictures of me catching passes, scoring touchdowns. And best way to prayer is to say a prayer. Say a prayer for us. We're God-fearing team. So we believe in prayers. And your prayers help us. So, best way is just follow us. You can follow me, James Goodman, on Facebook, or It's Goody G on Instagram. I post a bunch of Beach City Giants stuff. My cousin can vouch for me. If you want to find football stuff, just go on my page. But yeah, just say a prayer for us for July 29th. We find out who we play on Monday. And we're just trying to get some support to win a national championship and do something special. It's a chance. It's a once in a lifetime trip. Not everybody gets a chance at playing in a national championship at this level. This is like the equivalent to a Super Bowl in the NFL. Like everybody gets championships, but playing in a national championship representing a whole coast, representing a whole coast against another coast, a team that you've never even heard of, in a different state. That's my NFL right there. That's my NFL.
Yeah, because you're not a big fish in a small pond. You're operating in an ocean now.
Exactly.
So two more questions, and I'm gonna let you go. All right. First one. Anyone that's interested, even if it's in the state of California, they're interested in playing semi-pro football. Where do they go? What leagues should they look at?
It's like, all right, say you're in San Diego, say in your area, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to play semi-pro. You play San Diego semi-pro. Mm-hmm. You can do that on any Google, Yahoo, anything. And a list of the history of San Diego semi-pro teams will pop up. They'll be like, for you guys, I know there's a San Diego Silverbacks. I know you guys had the San Diego Thunder. You guys had the Cobras. By the way, the Cobras, San Diego Cobras were like my kryptonite.
Oh, really?
Like, it took me like 4 seasons to beat them once. Then after I beat them once, they went away, and I was like, "What? You guys?" Yeah. So, but no, it's just basically whatever area you live in. Like, if you live in Inland Empire, i.e. semi-pro football teams, and teams will pop up, leagues will pop up. Pretty simple. Just like you would look up ingredients at a grocery. Hey, what's this? Everything's technology now. So.
And then obviously regardless of state, but and these teams have tryouts, or is it just they not? Yeah.
It depends. Like I said, you got to finding a good semi-pro team. I hate using this comparison, but it's like finding a good wife. Like it has to fit you, because some semi-pro teams may not fit you, and you might be just showing up to games and paying your money or your fees just to go sit and be like, yo, this is my semi-pro experience. This is whack.
Yeah.
So like with us, we built a family environment. So like all our wives, all our kids, they play with each other while we're at our games or our practice. We have cookouts, we have family events. So when you think about, I'm looking for a team, beat City Giants, I can bring my family to the game. My girls, my girl ain't gonna be tripping because the other guys, girls are on the team. My kids have friends to play with, and everybody gets along. I guess I'll go to beat City Giants. It fits my thing. They practice Tuesday and Thursday. Well, I'm off Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, they practice Saturdays on 12. Well, I don't work Saturday, so basically you find a team that fits you. And once you find that team that fits you,
stick to it.
Live your dream. Like I think I've stuck with the teams and I've had the success. I've treated the semi-pro like this is my NFL team. Like, any other team wanted to keep me, they would have to do what this team is doing for me or better. And
you're right.
And no team has done it because it's like, I built this. I know what I want. I'm not leaving what I built. So
you're right.
This is,
That's good. That's really good. Last question. What advice would you have for young athletes, right? You made a lot of mistakes growing up. What advice would you have for young athletes that were in your shoes?
I would probably say, find out what you like and who you are first. Don't listen to your teammates. Don't listen to your coach, because they're going to tell you everything, what you want to hear and what you could hear, what you're going to be and what you can't be. But you find a relationship with God first or whatever. You listen to yourself and God. And once you trust yourself and you trust that voice that God tells you, then you'll start trusting the process more. You won't second guess it, or you won't get too down on yourself because of this happened. And always make the next play. Always make the next play. You mess up one time, always get up. I think my story with the semi-pro is I got knocked down, twist and turn in all areas, but I never gave up on the sport of football. And football never gave up on me. And
wow.
If you stick with something so long, you guys will eventually become a part of you. And you guys will work hand in hand. Football just became a part of me because it was my outlet. It started off as an outlet. It became a partner. Now it's a marriage. And now it's an identity to me. You know what I mean? Everybody that knows me, they know me as a football player. They know me as a stand-up husband. They know me as a stand-up father. But they see that football, James, before they see everything else. And I love it. I love that. God made me to be the person that I am. I didn't make it to the level that I made it at, but I still have the impact as if the person that made it to the NFL.
And you know something, and this is the biggest thing I'll take away from this interview, because I learned a lot. You know, I don't know many people that play semi-pro football, probably only a handful.
I know two. I know your Navy brother too. That's my guy.
Exactly, crazy small world. Yeah, he played semi-pro with a guy I was in the Navy with, and I was like, oh, you guys know each other.
That's my guy too. I love it.
He's a good guy. So, you know, I'm hearing the love and the passion that you're talking about the game with, and you know, there are guys at the highest level who aren't in a great place mentally that have fallen out of love with the game. You know, you've heard even more recently than ever of guys literally taking 5-6 game breaks from the National Football League just to get their mental health together.
It's demanding. It's demanding. Them camps is hard. Like I said, my college was basically ran like an NFL program. It's hard. It's hard. And I understand. That's why I'm sort of like, God, I wanted to make it, but I'm glad you didn't make me make it. Because I know how bad my mental was before. Just imagine if you would have blessed me with the opportunity to make it with my mental being as jacked up what it was. That was a recipe for disaster. That's why you see so many players pop pills and do drugs, because they can't handle the pressure. With all that money, right. I have to make 10 tackles a game, or I can't feed my family.
Right. I need 20 extra, or I need 500 more yards so I can get this bonus.
Exactly. If I don't get this bonus, that means I don't get this money. If I don't get this money, that means this house doesn't get paid for. If this house doesn't get paid for, that means I got to get back on the street. And once you meet players, and like I said, I was fortunate to have a lot of teammates that made it. So it's like hearing their experiences, and I'm like, I'm trying to get there. And they're like, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know if you want to. I'm trying to get like you, bro. You got this big house? Nah, bro. I'm trying to get my pension and get out. That's what I didn't understand. That like, what? I'm trying to play my 5 years and get out.
Wow.
This is politics. This will make you go crazy. Yeah, my team is like, I'm trying to get my 3 years and get my pension and get out. I got a degree. I'll start my business with my degree.
And you know what? Now we're getting to a place, and now this is obviously a different topic in its own, but we're getting to a place where a lot of athletes, period, but specifically football players, because the sport is a lot more physically demanding, hang the cleats up early. You know, I looked at the kid that played for Pittsburgh, Stephen Tuitt, who was I think well on his way of becoming like a first team all pro caliber player. And he said, I'm good. I'm straight. Yeah. I'm 28, 29 years old, entering my prime. I'm all right. And I'll hang it up. And, you know.
The linebackers from the Panthers. All pro linebackers from the Panthers.
Luke Kuechly. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. Right. I played in the Super Bowl already. Didn't win it, but I played in the Super Bowl. I made all pro a couple times. I'm over it. Peace. I'm not about to go crazy.
Right.
I don't want to lose more brain cells. I'm all right.
Hey, look, Andrew Luck. Even though he was crying, because you could tell he loved the game, he said, and then watch this, and then you see him in an interview after, and he looks happy. You see him in an interview 2-3 years later. Obviously, he's lost weight, but he's so happy. He's laughing. Not
in a quarterback room. You're not freaking getting drilled. You're not freaking around 55 guys every day. That stuff gets taxing once you start having a family, because even with my semi-pro stuff, I have to go report to camps and we have stuff that we have to go to, I'm like, bro, I'm not going to practice today. I'm going to go spend time with my family.
Right.
Like, I'm about to go eat dinner. You feel me? Leave me alone. Like, I'm with my daughter right now. Like, I'm chilling. You guys know. I'm with my daughter. She's gonna grab the phone and is like, I'm with my daddy, guys. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. It's my time.
It's my daddy. Like, he's my dad. That's my daughter. Quick to grab. If I'm on a group chat with the teammates, my dad said he's going to help me with this homework, so you guys got to go. And she will hang up the phone. Like,
and I'm sure it speaks to why you love that program so much, because everyone gets it, right? You guys have built a family environment.
Oh yeah, family. Like, our team is so close. Like, you know how we have this little thing. We have a group chat. We have 30, 40 guys. We could be just like at work. We'll start a group chat at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that group chat won't go off until 8 o'clock at night.
Wow. That's brotherhood. That's camaraderie.
We'll stay on the chat all day while other dudes is at work. Dudes is talking, doing anything all day. Just sometimes you'll fill up to 30 people and they'll get down to 2 people. But those 2 people will stay on the chat all day until someone gets back on, and like literally we'll stay on the chat all day. And I think I always tell why do you guys think we won? I was like, bro, we literally spent like hours and minutes during the off season together, even on a group chat. Like we weren't physically together, but we were literally together every day for like 4 or 5 months. You don't think we're gonna win a championship if you don't do that? Like
you guys are tight. You guys are You guys are a cohesive unit.
Exactly. And then you add that to practice at 12, but we're gonna have a barbecue right after practice. Bring the family.
Right.
And that's every practice. So it's like my kid's like, Dad, are we going to senior team today? No. Oh man.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense. But
I like I said, this whole experience is like a movie. Like this whole this 12-0, winning the championship and getting the national championship bid is like a movie. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, Ken. Like we're really playing in Atlanta.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to stay tapped in the fans. Now, will it be broadcasted?
Oh, yeah, it'll be broadcast for sure. I will send all the links, all the streams.
Please.
Like I said, everything is getting be announced on Monday. They're having a whole little release show. They're having a whole little like we're doing. The owners of the thing, they're having a whole little release show with the team. There's like 5 or 6 games that's going to be played. We're obviously the number 1 and number 2 team. We're the main event game, but. There's going to be so many games. My dad's going. I have so many people. My dad's going making the trip. My sister lives out there. I have a bunch of teammates that I went to college with. So yeah, it's my Super Bowl. I'm bringing my camera. I'm doing the whole Super Bowl thing. I'm doing the whole shebang. I'm vlogging. I'm doing all that.
So okay. So make sure you get that to me, and then we'll drop it in the description for this episode so people can follow it.
Yeah.
Right?
No problem.
So no, it sounds good, man. This has been. I'll be honest. I feel like because obviously we're family. I feel like I learned more about you in an hour than I've probably learned about you. Yeah, I mean, you family, but you. So no, I do, man. I appreciate
I appreciate you, cuz.
Yeah, no, I do. I appreciate the honesty and just the passion, because I still love the game, man. And,
yeah, I know you do.
So I get it. But, and the fans, I hope you guys were able to really take a lot of things away from this and just kind of get a better idea of what the semi-pro level looks like and then what it looks like to actually love and be passionate about what it is you're doing, even if it's not sports, right? So, yeah, man. So we'll stay tapped in. Make sure you send that to me.
I got you. I'll send it to you, cuz as soon as, like I said, Monday, as soon as you'll probably be the first person I send it to.
Please send it to me, and then we'll make sure we stay tapped in. But hey, man, go get you some hardware.
Yes, sir. I got 6 rings, by the way. I got 6.
But you can get a 7th.
That natty will put me right here. Then you can call me the GOAT.
Okay, look, and then you know what I gotta do? I gotta find me an Inglewood Blackhawks player, and I gotta be like, hey, so how do you guys feel about Beach City Giants? And I just want, how do you guys feel about them?
They're probably
look, they gonna cut the interview off. They gonna be like, I'm good, bro. Why you ask me that? Headphones off.
Bye.
I don't. Nah, man, but most definitely, like, hey, man, have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Stay tapped in, and then we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Cuzzo. Much love, man.
All right. Much love, man. All right.